we finished this series of videos on a problem. What I'd like you to do is click your mouse and then draw an expanding circle from that point. Okay, I'm going to show you what the code, what the execution looks like, and then the challenge for you is to work out how to do it. I'll give you some clues and some ideas, and then in the last video I will talk you through a solution of how you might have done it. So if you click your mouse, then it draws an expanded circle from that point. Do it so it goes, you can do it 2 or 3 times. Okay, so you need a couple of loops. As the circle expands, change its color using RGB values. Now this is quite an advanced problem, but it's actually very simple to write once you get your head around it. So that's the problem. Let's have a look at what the code actually runs. So I run a graphics window, behind it is the code, and I tap. Wherever I tap, it gives me, if you saw that. Now what's interesting and what can make this interesting, as I slow down the expansion so you see it shift color and shade. It's using RGB values to do that, using a simple loop wherever I click it. And it's moving at an even interval, so its speed, its rate of increase is the same. What would be really interesting is if you start, say, slowly and you increase the speed of it as it goes along, as an extension to it. Pause. So that is your challenge for this advanced problem. What do you need in order to do it? Well, at this stage I'm not going to say. I'd like you to think about it. It introduces the notion that in setFill, if you look at this function, you can pass it. It's got a very clever way of passing it RGB values, not simply a red in a word, but actually values, and you can calculate them and use the values from a loop to put inside a setFill. You'll notice that when we run it, it expands, and it expands by increasing the radius. So you have to look at how you would do that. You would draw it, pause it, and execute, and then redraw it again in the next loop. In order to get the pausing effect, you would want a sleep function. So what you do is there is a library called time, and from time you import a function called sleep. So you stick that right at the top of your code, and in order to use it, you would just simply write sleep, and if you set it for 0.2, that's about 2 milliseconds. And if that line appears in your code, it will pause it inside the loop. You don't need button clicks inside your loop. I want you to do this without. So that's your challenge. I'm going to just scan through the code very quickly and see if there's anything else that's useful for you to try out. The program itself looks like it might require a lot, but actually it's only about 6 lines of code. The power of this is your ability to think. Now here's the challenge to you. While you're trying to work out how to do it, how much of it can you do without just copying code from different places? Let's run it one last time. There it is. Click, and as you can see it shift its color. It's using the index value from the loop. It goes up to 255 in the loop. That's the range of each of the RGB values, but you should have a look at that. And it's quite a neat little function.